seeing how many people have gone with this narrative or ran with this narrative that black men don't protect black women. We know that's a false narrative. We know it's J Man over the ing. We know that's a false narrative. I want to know. I want to know how you feel about that, J Man. Do you think it's a false narrative?
Not me being country. Yes, I think it's a false narrative that black men don't protect black women. The issue is it's slowing down because of the types of situations that black women are putting themselves in. Like a black man would be inclined to protect his own lady and to protect somebody if she genuinely was in like duress and it was like totally not at the behest of something she did. I think that those types of men definitely still do exist among all races, but even definitely within black men. But when you're inciting an issue as a black woman, and you expect a black man to come to your rescue, well, that's insane to expect that in this social climate that we're in, where all black women do is basically say that black men are the scum of the earth. So, and of course, I know you're going to mention the brick lady. I mean, she definitely has had some very questionable thoughts about black men. So one has to wonder why would she assume that they would come to help her?
Right. I say this: you being protected by a black man comes from two people. Your father, when you're under his covering before you leave his house, and your husband when he hands you off on your wedding day. But since black women say they don't need a man, that they're independent, that they don't want to get married, that they don't want bums, that black men are stupid, y'all are more educated, that black men are bullet catchers, and all of this, talking points and rhetoric that black women say, there is no reason for black men to ever come to save black women at any time for any reason unless it's his lady. It's to the point now where you have people who say, it's like when people say, I don't believe in Jesus, I don't believe in Jesus, I don't believe in Jesus, and then you get on their deathbed and call for Jesus. It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing. It's like black women, they say they don't need a man, they don't need a man, and all of a sudden she got hit with a brick and saying, "Oh, these niggas standing around, they ain't doing nothing, they ain't doing a thing." Like, bro, what you just said in a previous post, you didn't need men. So make up your mind. What is it? Do you need men or do you not need men?
Exactly. And it's funny how that's always how it happens, right? It's always a situation where they end up needing the same men that they spend all their time ragging on. Like you mentioned, that's a good example with Jesus. People want to rag on Jesus and Christianity all the time until something pop off. Then they want to get the hollering, Lord, Lord. And we already know what the Bible says about folks like that.
Oh yeah. And so I'm gonna play a video of this dude that said, I got a couple of videos of this woman, right? And I'm gonna play this one. I think this is the one I want to play. Let me she up here in y'all. Hold on, let me stop the screen and start this one on TikTok.
Look, since you playing something, I got time to stop my camera.
Let's play this one.
You ever fuck with me ever again? What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody.
This one good.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just what?
I gotta ask the question: why in the world you slap somebody and then start twerking? It's always seemed like at this point, black women have to put their ass in the camera and twerk. I don't understand how slapping and twerking goes hand in hand, but that was a weird progression of events in 2 seconds.
They're just clowns and weirdos, and like they need psychological help, and we never address this part seriously enough. the behaviors that we're seeing are from unhinged people. And instead of advising that these people get the help that they clearly need, people always laughing at it and hyping it up. Like, that's just an unhinged individual.
Right. And the crazy part, who gonna see them? Because black women gonna look for black women, and we know about the crazy therapist lady and all the other black women that have been coming out speaking against black men and saying, disparaging stuff against black men. So who would be the proper therapist to help women when it comes to talking about their issues and that they're going through, and not pacify them and tell them they're queen, mother goddesses, cocoa butter princesses, and all of this like Dr. Umar does? Who's going to help them?
Exactly, because wait, what you say about Dr. Umar, Queen Coco Goddess? What did he be saying?
Cocoa butter goddess. That's what he be saying. My Nubian princess and all this. Like, what's crazy? That, like, even when Tupac said, even as a crack fiend, mama, you was always my black queen. That junk is crazy that we can still, and I blame this on us as black people. We don't want to have this issue or this talk about classism. There is a thing where it's some people who are better than other people. Some people live a different lifestyle. There's a difference between some cheap sheets you get from Walmart, then you start getting up to 3,000 count sheets. It just feels different. Same thing with certain cars. Certain cars, you a 0 to 60 in a Toyota and 0 to 60 in the Vet is just totally different. You know what I'm saying? And us as black people want to try to admit or try to keep us all on the same playing field and level. But some people are smarter than others. Some people are more talented than others. Hell, I would be a fool to say LeBron James doesn't jump higher than me. You know what I'm saying? But we all want to have this idea, oh, well, if they can do it, you can do it. No, like, God bless me with this talent. God bless me with these ideas. God bless me with these hands. God bless me with my networking. God bless me to be different than you. And as black people, we always want to act like everybody's the same, especially when people make it to a certain level. Like, it's crazy that a LeBron James still has to sing down to black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and then, like you mentioned, I think it comes from probably our history in this country with slavery, Jim Crow, and all those types of things, where there was an equal playing field for so long. But now that we've been fully integrated into society, such is just not the case anymore. And I don't like when people can't adapt, like, just adapt to the current social climate. And you said you're a homeowner. You are a married homeowner with children. And you know what I'm saying? You don't have a family on the other side of town. You are in another caliber of men that people, you know what I'm saying? So every black man, every black woman, every black person is not the same. And we do this thing where we don't like to separate ourselves from our lowest hanging fruit. White people don't mind it. White people don't like they don't let their crackhead cousins and uncles be all in the forefront and stuff. They hide them. They're embarrassed of that. But black people have an issue with just, I don't know, just have, it's okay to have shame. It's okay to want to surround yourself with a certain echelon of people, and that's not to be bougie. That's just a sense of, I live a different lifestyle than you. We clearly are on the same page.
Right. Now let me continue to play the video.
What? And they don't give a fuck. Yeah, this man hit me, fucking grabbed a rock, and it hit me in my fucking face, and I would have given him my number. And all y'all just fucking watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit?
I'm going to tell y'all, black men, black men, black men. Y'all need to watch out, and watch out. Get your popcorn and enjoy the show, because you're going to start seeing a lot of black women getting stoned. This is what happened in this video. She got stoned. And if we watch the video of the guy that said he was there, said this woman is a nuisance in this community and neighborhood. Even when we watched the other clips, and I don't know if those were actual clips of her slapping the white man, like she did it, but I don't know if it was a skit or something that was a real thing of her just going up to slap, just random white people. And I even seen in the comments on TikTok where a black man was saying, well, you could tell this person is a nuisance because she's slapping white people. And there was multiple comments from black women saying, What's wrong with slapping white people? And I'm like, if y'all think like this and y'all going out here to do these type of things, black men, y'all need to watch out because they're causing issues and they want you to be able to come and fight their battles. The only reason they can think something like that is possible because we know for the last 50, 60 years, black women have controlled the black community and these boys that they raise. So when they mama have problems with their boyfriends or multiple boyfriends and they have an issue, the first people they call are their son husbands to handle their boyfriends when they have an issue with them. And so that's what's happening. A lot of times these women have issues and now they want to call on the very men that they degrade and talk bad about. And like I said, this woman got stoned and nobody's here to protect her. What'd you say?
Oh, no, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. That's what the comment section talking about. Richard Owens rock out. Warren Perkins. It's like the biblical days when people do shameful stuff, they get stoned to death, right? Your single mama household, yeah. So y'all make sure y'all like the video. If y'all watching, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Let me continue playing.
What do y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? Man, fuck all y'all niggas.
I don't want to stop.
And you know what's crazy? Because I'm finna start on my Rumble account, but I got so many videos I just been saving. I'm just gonna do a blitz month on Rumble stuff I want to do. But there was another video similar to this with the same attitude where there was where black women were surrounding this black man, where they were watching this black man in the street in California, where the police kept telling this black man to put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down. He did. They end up killing them. And then the black woman runs up to this man laying on the pavement and put the phone in the man they just shot. And the police run up and tell her, get out the way, get out the way. It's a crime scene. She's still belligerent, talking to the man saying, the police saying, no, you just made it a crime scene. What's crazy about that is you just literally seen us kill somebody and you still want to act like this. Now, this woman in this video just said she got hit with a brick and she's still talking cash money shit to these men out here. Like, you ain't learned your lesson from the first brick. Do we need 2, 3, 4, 5 bricks for you actually to shut up out of here? Like, this
That's how you know. That's how you know it's because any feminine woman who was genuinely frightened. I can't imagine how frightened I would be if a man had just assaulted me with any sort of weapon or any sort of item. The first thing I would have been doing is, of course, calling the police. I would have been inconsolable, et cetera, et cetera. But her demeanor and her choice to record this as a first thought just goes to show that this situation is probably not not at all what she presented to us in those first few moments.
Right. And like I said, what happens is it just keeps this narrative of that black men don't protect black women. And I will say you should not protect any woman that is not your mother and your wife and your children. And I will still question if it's your mother, especially if you have a family. You're supposed to leave and cleave. So if your mama out here in these streets getting into it with these niggas, you might want to think about jumping off the porch for your mama when you gotta go home to your wife and children, because there's a and I think I might have played it when we did the podcast at my house, Jazz, where the guy went to Walmart and he was with his wife and newborn and he intervened in an altercation with a man and a woman, and when he did, the man shot and killed him and left his wife and newborn to fend for themselves now.
What?
Yeah, maybe I didn't play it, but yeah, that was the thing. It was in like one of the North Carolina, South Carolina, but the guy intervened, and when he did, the man shot him and killed him, and he just had, and like I said, it was his wife and newborn together. He said he couldn't sit by and let a man beat on a woman, and it's like me and my wife had this conversation. She said, "You better just walk away, because I need you to come home and help me raise these boys. You can't be worried about what somebody else got going on out here in these streets." And I agree, like, as a married man, got to take care of my own kids and household and be financially responsible. And we know what happens with children when they're raised without a father. Why would I do that to my children?
Exactly. That's just irresponsible to do. And
Now I will say, looking at my comments, said this is the first time I've ever done this type of live stream. So are you able to see the comments from
Yeah, I
my?
can see him too.
Okay, so we call BS. First of all, hey, we call BS podcast, and hey, NYG King Jers, what's going on, everybody? She says, in my opinion, this further divides the black man and woman. The dynamics of the black household is pretty much non-existent, and this black woman versus black man is weakening us collectively. I do agree, Dewanda. It's just the issue is that when I made my so when I put this stream out, said my caption was why black men no longer protect black women, or why black men don't protect black women anymore, or something like that. And of course, it's a little bit of clickbait, but it's really this idea of black men are going to start being more cautious about doing this because, like the examples that you gave, right? Where sometimes a man does intervene and he says, "Hey, I'm going to help this situation out," and then he ends up losing his life. At the end of the day, more people are so high strung these days. People be on drugs. People are crazy. You just really have to feel a situation out. And if you are a married man with a family, you do have an obligation to your own family, and you want to make sure that you do everything in your power to make it home to them at night. So I get that it's tough, but I mean that's a good point.
Let me finish playing. See what this guy got to say.
Like a hypocrite because me, myself, and I do pranks and I upload it all over my TikTok. But
we ain't got to hear what he said. I think I heard what he said. Let's see what this video says.
What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, "What are you gonna do?" And I told all these men, like, "Yo, why this man got a brick on my face?" And he's holding.
And you can see her whole demeanor. She's very aggressive, violent woman. Like, and to get on live, and I hate this. Y'all, people get on live and start crying and they want sympathy, especially from people like me. I find it very comical, and I always laugh because I can't take you serious if you got time to get on your phone and upload this or go live and act like you're so hurt. Like, if you're that hurt, you need to be holding your ice bag to your face instead of the phone.
Holding a brick, and all these is watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face, and they're all just watching, and they let that get in a car. How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women?
See, let me say something. Okay, first of all, this is my first time doing a joint stream in this way, where I'm streaming to both my platform and to Smaya's platform. So hello to all of Sed's subscribers and followers, and hello to all of my own. I'm here at the New Normal Podcast. Very excited to be here. And y'all have to forgive me because Sed will tell you, if you're a content creator and you got stuff lined up, sometimes you just have to get in where you fit in. So I'm so sorry, y'all. I had to get my food in. I wasn't gonna have any time to eat. But anyway, I want to say that that reaction that we just saw from her in the hospital room, I actually do think that that's genuine. Those tears and stuff, I think it is. The issue is that it's just a little too late, right? It's a little too late to be a damsel in distress. And if women by and large had just maintained that aura about ourselves for a longer time than we have, we wouldn't be in the situation we are now, where men are kind of feeling detached and not feeling the need to help us, because all the time we're letting them know that that we don't need them, and just belittling them all the time. I'm sure you'll probably end up playing it, but there was a gentleman who asserts that he was there, and he said that that the situation didn't quite go as it was planned, or as it was portrayed by her, and that she was being extremely disrespectful to the man, belittling and berating him to the point that he did reach aggression. Now, of course, we know at the end of the day, you can't just hit somebody because they're saying stuff to you. But the issue,
I disagree, but go ahead.
well, the issue though is, ladies, we can't put ourselves in these predicaments, right? It's not ladylike to be arguing to that point, arguing so vehemently with a man. That is insane. Like that is being extremely argumentative is being aggressive. That's not what we're here to do. So once you cross that threshold, once you've crossed that line from being a lady into being a challenger, then you have to be able to, you have to expect whatever's going to come from that.
I come from this old school way of thinking where if someone you can't control somebody's reaction, and and the thinking that you can't control somebody's reactions makes you more cautious of how you approach and do stuff to people. Whereas she could have been like, "Oh, you bitch ass nigga, you couldn't get my number." Well, most people would say, well, a lot of people, I ain't gonna say most, a lot of people will say, that's not right. You shouldn't, hit a woman with a brick because she denies you, even if it's in a disrespectful manner. But we will all say that it's not a lot of sane people out here to be doing that type of stuff too. You need to deny somebody in a proper manner. Now they say this woman is a nuisance in that community. So the man that probably said something to her, I doubt he asked her for her number. It had to be something different or something else going on. And like I said, I grew up knowing that if you said something to somebody disrespectful, you can't say, "Hey, because I said something disrespectful to you, you need to say something disrespectful to me." That doesn't work like that, because I have an understanding, and most people will agree with me when I say this. If you cut me, I'm trying to cut you 10 times more than you cut me. So if you hurt my feelings, now I got to say something about your mom, got to say something about your daddy. Now you punch me, now I got to punch you 7-8 times and drop you on your neck and, break your back and stuff like that. Like, if you shoot me one time I survive, now I got to, go and shoot your whole family up. Like, I always got to top it, because now when you fuck me over, now I got to fuck you over. And now it's just a continuous cycle. And like I said, most people aren't sane people when it comes to situations like this.
And see, that's another thing too. Like this kind of reminds me of like the Erica Mena situation. Now, me said, like, y'all, me and said we agree on so much stuff, but there's always at least something that we're gonna see a little bit differently about. And I do kind of have like a little bit of a bleeding heart. So like I don't like when people's feelings really get hurt. I feel like as human beings, we can find ways. And what's going on, Chaos Rain? And y'all know me, I'm J Man from the Tough Topics podcast, baby. I shoot straight like a laser. But I try my best to do it in a tactful way, right? So I don't think that so when the whole thing with Erica Mena, what she said to honey, I don't know who these folks is, Blue Spice or whoever the child. When she said that to her, I do think that that was inappropriate. However, said I would imagine that you were probably in the camp of people to say, well, hey, the girl, the Blue Spice girl, she said something mean to her first, and so by that point, you just can't, determine what somebody will say back.
Yeah, I'll agree. Like, I think we have these imaginary rules of engagement with each other, right? And so if I say, like I said, if I say you're a punk, and then you expect me to say, "Oh, you're a punk,"